Today I'm gonna help you in understanding DHCP, the concept of DHCP, and what is the service used to. So, namely, DHCP is uh, it's a protocol named as Dynamic Host Control Protocol, and it helps us in assigning IP addresses to the network devices automatically. So that's the main function of DHCP, and it helps and reduces the complexity of assigning IP addresses to clients or network devices in an environment. To check if the DHCP service is working or not, we can use ipconfig/all. It would show if the DHCP configuration came from DHCP server or not. So all the clients would get the IP addresses automatically by this service. So the benefit is we'll get consistent configuration all the time, and there are no chances of faults using the service, as it is automatically assigned and it has its range. Without DHCP service, we have to manually enter each and every IP address manually. That would be a big task, and there are possible chances of incorrect configuration when manual intervention is needed, and also there might be some communication issues. These are the advantages and disadvantages which are few pointed. Uh, Now I would like to help you in explaining DHCP lease generation process. It's a four-step process. It is commonly known as Dora. Uh, it, if you are talking about Dora process, it is the lease generation four-step process. So step one in the process, it's a client in need of an IP address. So how the discover option work is, if there is a client on the network and it doesn't have an IP address, with the help of the MAC address, it would be sending the communication to the server, DHCP server mainly. Hey, I do not have an IP address. That's how the discover the first step works. Step two, it's the offer. Okay, the packet which is sent by the DHCP server, in this process, the next step is off. Now the DHCP server responds to the offer, offering the IP address, and the client would be responding to it. So here the steps 3 comes in place. After the offer is made for the IP address, it would request the DHCP server. The client would request DHCP server. Yeah, I would like to have the IP address. So here then comes the step 4. Once it requests the DHCP server acknowledges, and here the step 4 comes, acknowledging, and therefore the DHCP server would indeed respond to the request, and the IP address would be given. That's how the complete Dora process overview is. Now we'll proceed with another topic, DHCP lease renewal process. This process would explain, for example, if a client has assigned an IP address from a DHCP server, and it happens to be there would be a time period for which it is offered by the DHCP server. Because of that, we need to have a lease renewal process. So in this process, as this client is already in connect with DHCP server, the client would request, hey, I need the renewal of the IP address, and the DHCP server acknowledges the client's request, A client will attempt to renew its lease after 50% of the lease duration has expired. A client receives a lease of 8 days from the DHCP server. So then, after 4 days, the client would be asking to renew the IP address to the DHCP server. So, for instance, if the DHCP server does not respond after 4 days, no problem. At we still have 4 days left. After 2 more days, the client would once again request the DHCP server for the renewal. Even after that, if it still doesn't respond, the client would once again try after 2 more days. And still, if no go, the client once again tries for 1 more day. And if the client fails to renew its lease after 87.5%, after the lease has expired, the full DHCP lease generation process has to start over again. So in this case, it would be taking any DHCP server which is reachable, and the process would start again, requesting for IP address. So this is how the Dora DHCP lease process works. Hope you have liked this video. Please do not forget to hit like and subscribe to my channel. I'll make more such videos. Thank you.